All right, welcome back to the ESL Pro League here at the Intel Esports Arena. I wish that this camera would change right now to show you what they're doing to my left, but it won't. And perhaps maybe next time we'll be able to catch
what are you talking about?
That fantastic display of dance moves that I've seen from both of you.
I like to try, and we're both wearing plaid, so it's great.
Well, how about that? Look, guys, we're going into train. We've got the Misfits. We've got Ghost Gaming. Both, again, fighting for different reasons here, trying to find these victories in this latter part of the season.
Yeah, we should keep harping on those same notes over and over again until people start to realize that, you know, Misfits have a chance of making it to Odin's 8 of the playoffs, which is what they have not done the last few seasons, and that Ghost need this victory. They need a victory, and it cannot be in overtime, or else they get relegated.
They get out.
So
get cut.
Both teams are going to be trying their hearts out here.
I'd hope so. I mean, why play if you're not going to try, right? Why?
Yeah, but how is it that, you know, teams like Rogue are going to be taking teams like Renegades to overtime 2 maps in a row, and Ghost is going to go to a 30-round barn burner against Misfits? Maybe it's because they have a little bit more reason to go for it today.
It's possible.
Well, I mean, going for it is usually the appropriate approach. However, I'm going to have to ask you two fine gentlemen, how can these teams shift it up today? How can they shake it up to try to find these victories?
I think it's all going to come down to the ladder room control. I noticed that Misfits kind of don't really pay too much attention to Ivy on their CT and T sides. Like, they don't aggress there. So either that could be an opening at Ivy, or it's going to be through ladder room control.
Yeah, I think it's going to, well, that's a pretty good point. I think a lot of it's maybe on CT rotates, to see who has the better rotates on CT side. Because, you know, if you mix it up, go inside, go outside, the timing is you want to go inside when there's only one person is T, right? That's the goal.
You want to go inside?
You want to go inside. You want to go inside with one person. Play the number game. Play the number game.
We're going to go inside.
Okay.
We're going to go inside to this a little bit deeper. Let's go ahead and take a look at these Betway odds. As we load them up in front of you, you can see that the Misfits, having grabbed that first victory and seemingly started with a convincing fashion, ends with the 16-14. Is this far off from where it should be?
I mean, I can agree with that. I would have to pick Misfits. So,
I mean, in a normal world, you would pick a Misfits, but again, this is Ghost playing.
Having the time of their life?
Having the time of their life.
Yeah.
They're playing for not to get cut. And people play a little better when they get pushed against the wall.
What would happen
against the wall?
So if they lose, seriously though, if they lose this match and they are guaranteed to not stay in Pro League, and what happens if their academy team qualifies for Pro League? Does the academy team, like, that's actually a real question. That's a real question to start asking here, folks. I'm not trying to point shade on anybody. This is a real possibility.
They get picked up by another org.
No,
but
they have contracts.
Are they contracted?
I'm saying no, because if they lose this match, the Ghost Academy is a real shot of making Pro League because they have a pretty good record. They're probably going to get into playoffs for MDL. You know, this is a potential situation here. That's what I'm trying to bring up. So Ghost better win this map so they don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, that would be a real headache that I'm certainly not going to deal with. I can promise you that. That will be up to the fine folks over there at ESL.
It's a silent L, folks. It's all good, though.
Whatever, dude. Anyway, we've got our broadcasters, excuse me, our commentators. They're not casters. They're commentators. It's 2017. Let's just go ahead and put that away and bring them into the picture. There you go. There you have it. We have a 2-box. I'm going to let you guys take it away from here.
I like caster better, personally. Can I stick with
commentator?
Yeah.
Ew. No, I don't agree.
It's just shorter. It's easier to say. Commentator.
You're shorter.
Just hold on, wait. Let me button up another button if we're gonna be going by commentator.
All right,
just
fine.
give me a
I'll
second.
join you.
Hold on,
Let's do this.
I'm gonna be very formal in that case. Actually, it's a little tight. Hold on.
Caster sounds like custard or something.
There we go. All right.
Now I look like a.
All right. Now I'm a commentator, and I'm also.
No, now you're a chulo.
Well, we're going to be going into train for the second map, ladies and gentlemen, here between Ghost and the Misfits. Misfits, of course, still fighting to remain in the top 6, and they do need to win most of their maps. I don't have the math in front of me, but they do need to win most of their maps remaining here to be able to push forward and remain in the top 6 for the playoffs. And as for Ghost, obviously, they are still fighting to avoid outright elimination from Pro League.
Yeah, the stakes are extremely high. They would have loved to just get to OT because I feel like, you know, man, I mean, we'll look at the standings at the end of the season, and then we'll really see if that point mattered. It might matter. It's tight. It's a tight race.
Absolutely.
Race to the bottom. Race away from the bottom. You don't have to be the fastest man in the pack. You just have to be faster than the last guy.
Yeah.
That's one rule of running away from a bear. And the bear is relegation.
Absolutely. And you still have to win that best of 3 too. Even if you escape the first bear, then the relegation will still come for you later
Multiple
on.
bears in the forest.
It's rough. Someone's holding up a sign. I cannot read that sign. I cannot see that.
I can't read sign language.
There's no way for me to see that currently.
Oh, now it's making more sense.
I understand now.
Okay, well, the viewers at home don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, let's keep talking about
It's a very important message. We had to receive that. So it's a good thing we got that. Thanks to the person who told us that.
But yeah, so Train is a map that it's another map that Misfits are gonna like to play. They should have probably won Nuke a lot more decisively, considering Ghost have barely ever won the map. And can you breathe now?
I was doing fine before. Just
Were you really conserving air?
It was a little tight, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta be able to breathe properly while
you're
casting.
In a low oxygen chamber.
Yeah.
Practice conserving your air.
The fast casting can only be done when the neck is fully exposed. Yeah. You know, you gotta have the full breadth.
Well, I mean, it's commentator when we're up here, right? So it's fast commentary.
See, now it's a fast caster. Now that I'm on button.
Now you're
makes much more. I have no clue what we're talking about.
Unleashed.
Completely lost the narrative at this point. But the players should be ready in just a second, which means we should be going live soon. Like we said before, it is a map that Ghost pretty much have to win if they want to have any chance now of catching up to Rogue and trying to not be in last place at the end of this season.
It's a tough place to be in. And again, this is a map that Misfits are going to want to play. Misfits like adopting the hard maps, the hard new custom maps. I know that I think Sean tried to pick up Nuke at the beginning when the map came out initially, and there's always favor for. And this is kind of an old conversation, but there's always favor towards teams that have been around longer when new maps come out because they have the rest of the map pool developed, whereas a new team might start with like a big 3 like Mirage, Nuke, or sorry, Mirage, Inferno, Dust 2, or Cache, whichever the map may have been, and then work out from there. Start with the easier maps that everyone kind of understands. But they definitely got a head start on maps like Train and Nuke. And this is a map that Shazam, I don't know if he likes it, he's really damn good at it. So
yeah,
he will be make or break for them.
It's interesting, the way the map pools kind of evolved for Misfits. Like they kind of like found out by accident this weekend that they're actually really good at Cobblestone too, which they apparently had like never really played Cobblestone prior to that tournament. They were terrible at it. So I don't know why we're doing so well, but then like they just kind of started crushing people. I think they won every single time they played Cobblestone at the minor. So they have an interesting map pool on Misfits. We're not going to see Cobble today. It's going to be Train, a map that they have prepared a lot more for. And as you can see in there, it does look like we are finally live. So let's jump into it and find out if their strength on this map will hold true, or if Ghost will be able to upset on at least one of these 2 maps. And to start it off, we're going to have Ghost pretty much just rushing through the White Halls here to establish presence in box halls and look for an inter-execute. We do already have, however, Sick posted up at the entrance stopper, so if they're too loud here, he's going to be able to hear all of this and give the call out. It's going to go quiet, though, from Ghost as they put their players into the box halls, and they'll now be ready to follow through with the execute, pushing their players down into B, pretty much just straight out onto the site as they rush towards it. Seb is going to move forward and take point in trying to clear out the site. The problem is that they never actually checked upper, so Sick is allowed to just steal a kill right out from their hands. Even picks up a second one, too. He's still an issue sitting on the back over by upper right there. Seb finally picking up 1 kill on his own, but now they're going to go brawling in the back of the site. Devo is holding on here, and with these trades, they just outright win it without even really having a retake. They just hold their positions and end up knocking out the entirety of the Ghost roster.
Yeah, they didn't have to do much there. That's kind of disappointing that you just leave upper open like that. You can rush low ramp, but if there's any chance that somebody's upper, they've got such a huge advantage. They can stop the bomb plan, and it seemed like even while they were putting the bomb down, had no plans on clearing this out. That would have been a free kill for them that they could have traded out on Sick if they wanted to pay attention to it. And yeah, you don't want to see rounds end like that, honestly. But Misfits pick up another pistol. That's their third. Actually, not sorry. They didn't pick up the second pistol last map, but they still got the eco conversion. But either way, that's a pistol in this map. And again, map 2, last map. Ghost really, really need this more than anybody else.
Misfits would love to take this too as an easy victory for themselves. Take a quick 6 points to keep pushing them further up into the rankings. They're definitely still in contention to remain in that top 6, but they're more closer to the bottom of some of these other stragglers right now. Like 8th place, I believe, so still needing to fight for that slot. It's not secured yet. Well, in this round, Ghost are going to send 2 players outside quickly from T-Con, and they actually are able to sneak off a kill to start it off too, so that was good for them. Shazam is going to be in position behind the bomb tray to trade this. It looks like they are sort of tricked by this, but I think they definitely assume something else is happening towards inner here, because they've got players lined up to flank already. They've now moved Sick back into the B-bomb site, but he's even going to wrap out here. Where's the movement from Ghost? Where's these ramp players pushing in? We haven't seen that yet either.
There it is. They pulled the rotates. They need to go.
The illusion is now dead, and yeah, they don't end up even getting close. Should be able to get this plant, I think, at least. And yeah, B will finally put it on the ground, but he's dead after that. And they get absolutely nothing done in that round besides the plant.
Yeah, there was no extra value, I think, in waiting for Connor to die in that situation. As we saw, I mean, we don't have the same eyes as them. We can see everything, but as we saw, there was a rotate that came out as they noticed that Connor had made his way into back halls, or back lanes, excuse me. And after that, when he died, all that did was cause a rotate inner. And basically, if they had gone out 3 or 5 seconds earlier, they would be able to get the bomb down. There would have been no one watching the lower ramp with the Falmos, and pretty much just picked a kind of a poor timing. But I can see why they wanted to wait. They maybe felt like there was somebody up close that would have mowed them down.
This does now transition us into the first gun round. Ghost getting those 2 plants. They're easily able to afford their first buy in here. It includes the Op 2 on the ward out. He does have to glass cannon by it, but still manages to put it up on the board. But Misfits realize this, and we see quite a few from us. They're also going to be buying into this at equal contention to try and stop Ghost from getting onto the board this early, just on their first gun round. And 6, playing with fire a little bit there. Does end up having to fall back. Won't prematurely smoke it. You can see he had the smoke in hand, ready to toss that back out, but decided against it here. Will still lose about 1/3 of his HP. Smoke goes in late, but Connor's going to push right past that. Now we just have to hope that Sick was ready to take the fight, as he's now going to be stuck on the backside. Flanks around, gets the warning that Connor's there, but still is not going to be able to hold on. Ghost will just walk right in, take free control of B, and now it's all up to Misfits to retake.
Yeah, 1 kill might be the round, but Sean's in a pretty good spot, and here is some... Oh, but it seemed like final insurance, but suddenly it's a 4-on-3. Players are falling all the way back, though. Are they really going for this?
They're taking a lot of time to set up that flank. That flank is really irrelevant at this point. The 2 guys in Z and CT need to execute if they're going to go for this, but I honestly don't think they're going for it. Even with a man advantage now, they called it off, so that's a bit odd for Misfits. But regardless, this will mean Ghost will win the round. They can probably wipe the board clean of everyone from Ghost. B's already down to being the last man standing here. Deva will finally take him down, but given the circumstances, I am very surprised they did not at least attempt to re-exec into the site. Yeah,
that's really weird. It seemed like they would have definitely won, especially when you kill Rix. You know that was their contingency plan. So they're probably not going to do anything else that's really tricky if they have a player lurking outside. They're not going to try to push up too aggressively because they know that this guy can go and get kills for them and probably will get one for free. So once they get that frag, they get the man advantage. You think, all right, well, why not just press in? They're probably low on grenades too. This is the best round that could have come of it otherwise, however. 5 dead for Ghost. On the first round, they win. They at least get the bomb plant, so they're going to have something to work with. But Misfits saving a couple of people, winning the previous rounds. I think this means that Misfits are probably going to be pretty happy with themselves. They did give up 1 round, but now they have a great chance to reset.
It's going to be all about shutting this down here now. So they did wipe the slate clean, which means the rebuy from Ghost is going to be quite pitiful, actually, when you look at it. There's basically 0 utility except for standard smokes on only 3 players. And besides that, they only get flashbangs and a single HE grenade, along with, of course, the AK buy-ups and one Galil that gets spotted there. Amanek, though, puts himself into a very, very bad position to start off the round there, and he's going to get spammed out of 22 HP. Ghost will also be able to walk right in and take free control of the ladder room. So now they've actually got themselves primed up for a pretty good execute. The only problem is they don't have any utility to make it happen, so it's basically just going to be dry peaks in order to try and start off their actual execute. They have 1 more smoke that can probably be used over here at Ivy. And there it is.
I like this side of this. Oh, it's actually full smokes pretty much, so Sean doesn't even get a free peek off. And it doesn't look like they're going to need much utility to get up here. They get full Ivy control. They have ladder control as well. This could work out, even though they have no nades.
Molly's going to stop the ladder players from pushing back out, and they weren't even checking for Sean originally upon peeking, so it's only going to be able to get the 1 kill, but Devo on top of the green train as that smoke fades away can pick off the last 2, and now, well, the last 2 from the T side are going to end up going in towards inner here now, and that's just a walk-in for them. They walk right up, they'll be able to find a plant at least. But Misfits will obviously look to retake upon this pretty quickly. Seb gets the kill onto Almanac there, but he has already lost Connor too, due to a trade that came up from Shazam. It's just a matter of time before Seb is located, but hold on here. He's holding on in the zone. A missed shot from Shazam means he's dead, but Sick will close out. At least they do some good damage. They bring it down to 2 players on the CT side, but the round is going to go to the Misfits.
Great damage by Sean at Ivy. A lot of pressure on him to get those kills. And he got the 1 and then did almost 90 damage between the 2 other people, so that was massive impact. That would do that cleaning up the frags as well as a good crossfire. And they held on to Ivy that way, and maybe that's where nades come into effect for Ghost Gaming. But I'm surprised that with ladder control and the 2 players down and the Ivy split that they gave up on taking outside and instead decided to run it back. Maybe it was because their teammates died at Ivy. Maybe they were planning to do an inner split right out the gate because they smoked right side Ivy to begin with. I'm not exactly sure where that all fell apart, but now Ghost Gaming have to completely save. I'm actually kind of surprised they got a buy out of that. Oh no, that was the one. That was the one buy. So great opportunity to reset here. Coming into effect.
And it'll be all slow from Ghost at the beginning of this round. Basically 0 map control being taken early on. Moving a few players into the white halls, of course, to keep options open for them. And probably going to totem pole drop over here into ladder at some point. But actually, it looks like they're moving everyone through the white halls now. So scratch that. It's definitely not going to be an execute. This is for sure going to be inner. And depending on if Devaduvek was listening here, he should have been able to hear this and call it out. Sean immediately gets the double kill. He's going to make it 3, or at least try 2. Shazam's going to bail him out there, and Sick picks up a final kill too, leaving only Seb alive. Missed off shot from Shazam. Actually means that Seb will get at least 1 more kill, but besides that, Devo quickly moves in for the trade, and Misfits secure their 4th.
Yeah, Shazam not looking super sharp might be something that they can work with, but they've actually just got to get to the buy round before they can even think about trying to go up against it. Also, Misfits have picked up 2 ops, which might be difficult. Another problem for Ghost to have to handle. They half buy here. They've got a couple of deagles, half armor on most people, no armor to work with, so they'll probably default. I imagine we'll have kind of a long round on our hands. Oh wow.
Almanac hitting an immediate op shot through the smoke there to take down B, and Shazam finding 1-2. Both the ops ringing true right at the start of the round, and making Ghost a shell of their former selves. And on pistols, this was already going to be a tough round to upset on, and it has become nigh impossible now.
Did you just make an anime joke?
What's up?
Did you just make an anime joke? Ghost in a shell?
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. No, it wasn't intentional. So
subconscious anime.
It just worked out. Yeah, maybe.
Who's your waifu?
Dude, I haven't watched anime in such a long time.
I'm just kidding.
Couldn't even
tell you
tell
that term is sexist and racist?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
So
my bad.
Use that on Pro League, okay?
I'll go correct myself later or something like that.
So what's your
We
favorite?
have to atone for our sins.
Yeah.
Against.
That's what they do in animes.
Rix is going to sneak off 1 kill here, but pretty much as expected, Sean will trade that to Team Ace this time for Misfits, and they secure their 5th round.
It's a good start. And another buy-up, another opportunity. Chance to win. Do we have a... Oh, I thought we had a pause for a second. But we don't. Will Wardell buy the op? The other looming question. He has enough money to do it, but there's a good argument for not needing it. Maybe he asked if his team wanted, felt like, oh, he should opt. You know, maybe he doesn't feel like he has a good idea for how to use it, but he could be incorporated into potentially an execute depending on what they want to do. In this circumstance, it is a very standard default out for Ghost.
Devin will still take a pretty massive chunk of damage from the nade, and that will help them to prime and get this execute to work out okay down there at ladder. It does go 1 for 1. Only brings us down to a 4v4, but it also will give Seb control over that ladder room, and promptly the CTs just smoke it off to delay the timer a little bit. However, Seb's going to be careful. I think he realizes this, though. Almanac is pushed inside. He's got the op in hand, and Seb ready to take that fight. He'll instantly take him down. Now, that is a second op for the T's if they want it. More than likely, we'll bypass, though, and just leave that on the ground. So the CTs will start to panic a little bit here because while they started off the round okay, now with this additional kill from Seb, things have gotten a little bit hairier all of a sudden because they still don't even know where Ghosts are going to execute from yet. They've kept the options open.
Wide open, and they've got plenty of time left on the clock. Seb throws his smoke pretty quickly. He's using a lot. This is kind of surprising to me. He's throwing so much utility, but they aren't in a good position to execute. But he is also watching for flanks and catches Sean Gears off guard, so maybe he did want to try to bait out somebody from pushing ladder.
Really intelligent play so far from Seb, but unfortunately it is going to come to a close. At least he works out his bait, however, so that Rix can just push out from the Ivy tunnel and knock out Shazam. That's the entire A site swung wide open. Only Sick left alive to try and clutch this 1v3. Well, he did commit down ladder. If he can't find a kill in these next 5 or 6 seconds, I think he's probably going to end up falling back to save that.
If he knew that Sean Gears was going to go up the ladder and flank him, then that's between like 300 and 600 IQ. But I don't think that he knew for sure. But I think it was like a good enough gamble.
Sick. We'll still look to save in these back halls here. He's going to camp out inside of the kitchen. And hope he doesn't get pushed. He should be relatively safe. Ghost is still only just now crawling through T-Con, so there's no way he's going to be able to get to 6th position in time. He'll keep the op in check, so they'll have that going into the next round. And they should have plenty of cash to rebuy, so not going to be in the hot seat just yet. But after this round, money will diminish pretty quickly, and we should see Misfits being put onto an eco.
Does the bomb explosion make something ding?
Yes.
It does?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something on the map that
I think there.
shakes
I don't
dings.
know what it is that dings, but there is something on the map that's dingable.
I would like to know.
I think it's in T-spawn, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, he heard it from up there, so
Yeah.
maybe.
I'm pretty sure there's a bell in T-spawn that you can ring.
That's cool, I like that.
I don't know exactly where it is, though.
Ghosts are without ladder control, they do jump down. The totem pole pays off even better than it did last round.
No trades this time, even without the primer of the nade. But Sean and Shazam are striking back nicely. Amanek, hello there, finds the kill on Connor. Not even really needed there, too, for the second kill, as Shazam's going to be able to just scope him out at range. Wardell tries to go for a quick change of his aim to pick up the kill, but the problem is now he's pincered himself. He's trapped himself. He sees the shadow. It actually does hit the shot at Amanek, but it's a leg, so it won't be a full kill. And Amanek does indeed pick up the final kill on the round to give Misfits back control.
It's so interesting that Amanek can play a spot like that, and it's actually one of the safer spots that he could play in that situation because, and it's not necessarily always going to be because you have to worry about the left side of T-Con. But let's say, for example, you're willing to take that fight, and if nobody peeks you, then you're in such a great spot because no one's going to clear that part of the site when they go outside. They're going to clear E-box. They're going to clear the side of. They're going to clear all the bomb site angles, IV, and they might forget about you.
Sean just walking right out, gets himself an easy double kill there. He will end up handing over his rifle to Wardell now. So I'll pick that up, but I think that's a worthy trade at this point in time. Assuming things don't get too out of hand besides that. Sick will probably be under a little bit of pressure if they do end up deciding to send these two players towards Inner, but that's still yet to be seen. Once again, Ghosts are keeping their options open, and with the death of Wardell out at Ivy, I think Inner is probably going to be a much more compelling option for them after they wait down this timer just a tad more to make sure no one from Misfits will push in here for intel.
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, they're keeping their options open, but they're kind of like a guy who can't get a date that's saying that they're keeping their options open.
And that doesn't help. The flash warning is going to prime Sick for this execute here, or at least the attempt at an execute, but he pretty easily handles both of those players and secures another fast one for Misfits.
It has been a quick few rounds in general. Lots of eco rounds, unfortunately, for Ghost. Maybe the harder side of Train, maybe not, but still, at the very least, favor, or at least close to equal. So they're at a giant deficit right now. Again, have to half buy. I wonder if any of the Deagle buys have kind of dug into their full buys a little bit. Not sure. I mean, Deagles are quite expensive, right? You know, 2 Deagles, 1,400 bucks.
Now as they execute out, Sick once again just shuts it all down. A little bit of help coming out from Shazam there over at Z, but it's left down to Connor. And as he picks up the AK, we'll try to recover with it, but no dice as Shazam will still take him down, only with a loss of Sick, and Sick kills like 3 or 4 players before he goes down, so I'm sure he doesn't mind that too much.
Yeah. Have you ever played Space Invaders?
Yeah.
I bet Sick is pretty good at it.
Yeah, after that play there. Well done from him to hold on the other side of Spindle. And unfortunately for Ghost, they commit to that just a little bit too quickly and end up costing quite a few of their players' lives due to Sick's position there.
Going to be a standard set of affairs for Misfits. They don't have to change too much. They just do what works. Sean's actually going to push Ivy again. This guy has some big cojones. Oh, man, they missed him just barely. He was very careful about not crossing back too soon. Sometimes you have to be, you can be scared, but you've got to understand that if you do try to run away, that's exactly what they're first going to be set up for. So took his time, escaped, had Shazam on the fallback defense. Perfect stuff. Opening kill. Very important, and they grab it one more time.
Almost works out to be a little bit of a bait there, too, as Sean will fall back in an attempt of pursuing that kill and let Shazam line up for the option on B. So they'll end up 5v4 at the start here. Instead of Sean getting punished for his aggressive moves, he's able to escape with about a third of his health left. And now they sit safely with 4 players still on the outer site, ready to defend if Ghosts try to go for this default, which is looking likely. Now that Connor moves back with the bomb, he'll probably group up with Wardell inside of T-Con there. And then the following 2 players over at Ivy and Ladder will execute on their spots on the map. You might see Seb try to throw the smoke in B, but I actually doubt that considering how low the utility is across the board for these guys in general. They need all of their utility on the actual site they're executing into here. But down to 30 seconds now. We haven't seen them commit to anything yet.
Love Omnic's unconventional spot. This is how Fallen Ops on A site.
Connor, though, look at this. Just walked himself all the way up, and Wardell got the first kill, too. Oh, no, Connor messes up big time, but Rix is helping out along with Seb to keep this in contention as they bring it down to a 2v2. Rix in a perfect position to impact here. He'll only get the 1 kill, but Seb can push forward into Z to close out as he gets the final kill on Sick and finally gives Ghost another round.
That was sick. That was really nice from Seb. Like, great trade. He had to come around the train, put himself in a kind of a vulnerable spot, but they both committed to taking that fight. And he didn't have to leave himself in a 1v1. That was great. Ended the round before it got out of control. Only problem for them is it was a 1v1, and for some reason Connor bought a Mac 10 here, even though they know Misfits have a ton of money. Almost certainly will have head armor. This is a bit rough.
Wardell just goes right for the peak and a nice little slam down on the aim to take out Devo Duvek. Nice adjustment from him. Has been doing that throughout the entire night so far, so it's been some really good aim coming out from Wardell here. Pick up these kills, as that gives Ghost a nice 5v4 to start off the round. B also already pushed out of T-Con, but I believe Misfits are aware of this. So it's not going to be so easy for him to continue just pushing forward. Taking map control with Molly, not the best for the CTs there, as that will just go into the ground and accomplish nothing, but Shazam now picks up not only 1, but 2 players from up on top of the green train. Wardell responding again and again as he takes out Shazam and Almanac, giving back the advantage to Ghost. They still haven't executed yet, though, so, Sick, almost through the train there, is able to take down Wardell, but it was just as he peeked, finally outwits the upper. And now he's going to leave Seb alone. He clutched this before, but it was a 1v1, and he already knew where the player was positioned at, and going up on top here is not going to help his case. The jump saves his life temporarily, but they know where he's at. They know he's low, too. Sick makes the push, but Seb, oh my goodness, he holds on to it with an immediate 1-tap on his Sick's head there. More than that, actually, but still gets the job done.
Oh, are they going to hear it? Are they? Sean hears it.
Sean heard him, but not the reverse, but Sean's not going to fire off just yet. He'll take his time with this.
He's going to make noise, though.
Seb heard it, I think.
Is he? Oh, he's going.
No, maybe he didn't hear it. I think that was just that just was coincidental. No. He looks for him back here, but Sean will still be able to easily take him out.
No. He didn't hear it because he. A
little spicy.
Spicy as hell. I think he didn't hear it because he would have made noise going up the ladder. He would have just played the long con, try to catch him off guard. He realized he was low. He's not going to run out and take the fight if he knows that Sean is anticipating his position. So the more you know, you plant right here, and we don't know if maybe he's got bad headphones. Who knows? But that's a possibility. But it seems like you can't actually hear someone drop if you're planning on default. So if you ever run a big flank in a position that Sean is, go ahead and jump off. Nice round from the Oppers. 2 kills apiece. And Wardell winning a duel as well. But then Sick hits a shot that you can't do anything about. And Seb makes it close by doing the exact same thing. Crazy round.
You can make those footsteps easier here if you just crank up the bass on your headphones. You ever do that?
For a low end?
Yeah.
But if you crank up the bass, does that even help?
It does for me.
I don't think. No, I think like really good headphones for CS have low bass frequency. I don't know much about frequencies, but I'm pretty sure like low bass is better for.
Because there is a lot of bass in footsteps, even though they sound like somewhat high pitched.
I'm gonna need an audio engineer to answer this question.
The bass and the footsteps is pretty like understated, but if you like crank the bass to max, if you have like a mixer that you can play with, and you crank the bass to max,
What, you just
they're like they're like really obvious if you hear footsteps. But it also kind of makes guns sound like really overpowering. So, so it's a bit of a trade-off, but I like it.
I'm gonna need. Okay, I'm not sure about this.
We will see.
Sounds like bro science to me.
We will see Seven Wardell get the first couple kills this time, and this is on an eco, mind you. So this is something that Ghost should absolutely not be allowed to do right now, as they're on the cusp of upsetting on this round if they continue in their current path. Oh, Sean walks right at those spots. 1 and 2 players to bring it back down into an even battle. A 3v3 now between these two teams. Sean, though, continuing to make noise for certain. Seb should have heard that, but what he's not going to be able to realize is that Devo quickly rushes up to his other side. Bit of a team flash there, so we'll halt the retake a little bit, but they've got plenty of time still to get up to this bomb with a killing of Rix and B. That's the retake secured for Misfits as they're going up to double digits now.
Sean's a real American hero, man. On all these rounds, he's getting like tier 3 kills when they're down a man, and like on that previous round, he even did that. He's gotten kind of quiet kills, but they're very important, and positionally it makes him look like they're so easy because he's always in a good spot. So I think he's been kind of an unsung hero this half for Misfits.
He's just recreating the American Revolution with like American CS. He's now just he's brought some good Americans onto his team now that he thinks he can build a team with, and then he's asked for some support from the French. As he's got some assistance coming in from Almanac and Devoduvek. So he just created the American Revolution in CS.
Wow. That was deep.
I know. I had to think about that one. That took me like a hot 2 minutes to come up with.
Appreciate it.
As the round continues onward, Ghost again line up into... Oh, actually, that's a bit of an ill-advised peek from Sean, and Wardell's going to immediately punish that. Basically, nothing traded out as a result of that, besides maybe spotting the players out here.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, Devo's seen this for certain.
Ooh.
He did not check it. I don't think he assumes anyone's going to be here. Quick first kill. He does fire off quickly, though, but he's still able to chain together a second and a third with some assistance from Sick in the backside. They shut down the Ivy hit, and now just Seb and Connor left alive and split. Connor did waltz right into B, though, so he's got free control, and I don't think anyone from Misfits realizes that he has this right now. So he's going to walk right in. Good trigger discipline, too. He's seen Sick. Oh, he might have missed his window here. Oh! He's going to be able to take down Shazam, but now he's going to find Sick. Sick, though, doesn't react to this at all, seemingly, so Connor still makes it work.
Okay.
But now we have another flight coming in from the other side. Well, Seb is checking it now. I don't think he's realized that Almanac has already gotten this much control back. Connor continuing to push into, and Connor's very far to catch Almanac. He spots it. He's going to rush back to the bomb. I think he knows Connor pushed deep into the site. Whether he's going to stick onto the bomber is yet to be seen, but Connor gets the kill. And if Almanac would have stuck it here, he might have been able to just outright defuse, but now he's going to take the duel, and Connor's smart. He'll delay this for as long as possible, trying to hide in plain sight. Almanac eventually pushes him, though, and the nice little jump up on top of the tanker train gives him plenty of time still to defuse this bomb and secure around 11 for the Misfits.
That was very smart. It would have been hard to delay for a lot longer, but you'd think you think in that position Connor has a pretty good idea of how to avoid anyone approaching him, and of course there has to be footsteps being made for him to get caught in that situation. So overall, really great round on this crossfire. It seemed like the Ivy setup was going to be strong. 5v4 to kick off the round. Wardell top Ivy with the op and had line of sight on so much. And his teammates with the rifles were just a little bit, I think B was just a little bit unaware of the potential for someone to be up on the pallet, and that's what caught them off guard. Set the round in motion for Misfits. Last round of the half for Galeals.
He got that early control of ladder, but was unfortunately going to come out on the bottom of the actual 1v1 when Almanac pushes inside. So he finds that frag, brings it down into a 5v4. And besides that, we see no other regression across the map here from Ghost. Not yet, anyway.
And where do they go from here? Really low on grenades. They don't have much to work with. A couple of Misfits players are low. They would like to get as much information as they possibly can for free.
continuing to crawl them. And again, you can hear it just on the stream itself. They've made no noise while setting up for this. This is going to be somewhat new to Misfits, but obviously Misfits will suspect something as there is zero outside pressure right now. Smokes will start to broil in to let these players from Ghost into the site. And they'll quickly establish enough presence to get a plant on the board, but they're still at a disadvantage and they have zero utility for this post-mine. There's like one HE grenade sitting on Wardell. That's already been used, but Connor, hold on now. It's a really good position. It's going to be tougher to maintain it, however, with the smoke now gone. And this explains why he adjusts, but this is some good movement from Connor, and he's going to surprise Sick. Gets the first kill there. They will wrap and trade, but now Seb is set up from behind the tanker to pick up additional kills too. With Wardell's, it's brought it down to an even 2v2, and Rick picks up the one player on upper, leaving only Amanek alive, and he has 0 time, so he's forced to rush down ramp where Wardell will take him down and secure at least one more round at the end of the half for Ghost. It goes 11-4, and we'll just have to wait and see if Ghost can come back on the CT side or if Misfits will shut it down. Stick with us, guys, to find out in just a few minutes when we come back from the break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And so we are back. While our first map between these two teams was a very close affair on Nuke, on Train it's been a bit of a different story with, for the most part, Misfits dominating their first half here on CT side, starting it off 11-4 over Ghost.
Yeah, this is more of the speed that we were expecting from the Misfits, doing much better. Solid half overall. They had a pistol to help them out, but clean rounds in the rifles. Really, there was nothing that Ghost had going for them that seemed like they could use that to sustainably win rounds over and over again. Even rounds where it seemed to come close, Misfits were ready in a passive setup when Ivy control was taken, or just ready to retake inner. And a couple of clutch rounds that mattered a lot as well. Sean Gare's coming in clutch, that one in particular, could have changed things for sure. But you could say even on the third round where Misfits decided to save, I feel like they could have even won that one and made it a more lopsided half.
Yeah, could have been easily like 12 or 13 rounds for Misfits if there was a few better cleanups, I think, on a couple of those situations there. But they still end up with a pretty big advantage, and assuming they win the pistol, they should be able to solidify it, and with just 1 or 2 more gun rounds, secure the map here at the end of the day.
Yeah. So moving to the second half, one of Ghost Gaming potentially last halves of the season. Or, yeah, that will be one of their last. I'm not sure how many games they have left. I think it's 2 games that they have left still.
I'm not sure either, to be honest. Yeah. We'd have to double check on that. But
we'll throw it to the desk for that question.
But yeah, for Ghost, it seems that the sun may be setting very soon on their Pro League tenure here. They're not able to recover in this map. And
don't say that, man.
What?
That's sad.
Yeah, I know it is.
You know what I mean?
That happens every season, though.
Oof. This is my first time here.
We always have to say goodbye to at least one team. And it could very well be Ghost if they do not recover here, although they start off okay on the pistol round. Some good spam damage going across the table, and we can see Shazam, Sean, and Sick all being hit for 25 or more damage in quite a few cases here. But regardless, Misfits will still get site control. And they'll be hiding behind the smoke they have at Z, but while that'll hold it to start them off, we'll see immediate kills from Misfits after the fact. In fact, 4 kills from them. Just 2 more traded out by Ghost. Connor's been able to sneak over towards the bomb, but I do believe Sean is watching for something like this. Hasn't been able to find him exactly just yet. Smoke over top of the bomb. He'll jump onto it and just hope he can sneak this defuse in. Won't happen. Six shuts him down, and Misfits do secure the second half pistol, going 2 for 2 on this map.
Yeah, 2 for 2. It's going to be a definitive factor in the reason they win if they do. And no, it's you got to respect that he goes for the 1vx Ninja Defuse. There isn't going to be much opportunity for him to get all those kills. And yeah, Ghost Gaming have really got to dig deep here. 1 link equals 1 prayer.
And so now Ghost, with their investment forced into this one. All right, Rix is going to be able to get at least the first kill inside of ladder room, but Omnic trades that. And we see the rest of the team already out from T-Con too. Great control already established. Shazam, just suddenly realizing he'd seen the player in old bomb tunnel, but he'll take contest onto the guy at the edge of the speedway instead. Connor with 1 trade, and Sean really struggling with that spray for some reason against Seb. I think that's because he was transferring it off of another player. Seb will just get smoked though, and won't be able to do much else right now. But because of his kill, it has been even back down into a 2v2, especially with Wardell sitting back here picking up that most recent one. It's caused a bit of an unnatural halt to
Will he hit it? Will he hit it?
No. Okay. Not this time. Doesn't have an op, unfortunately. That seems to be his main gun there. And for Seb, well, like I was talking before, Sean had already spammed into him in massive fashion, so they're going to know that he's low, and even lower now. He's down at 2 HP, focusing on planting the bomb at least, but won't even really be necessary. Sean will just take him out and secure number 13 for the Misfits. 3 away now from Map 2 victory, and a total of 6 points claimed today.
Yeah, they put themselves in a tough spot because they did force, and they know that they're close to the half already, almost being over. I think any investment here will take a toll on them, so I'd be kind of weary about it. I don't really think that they can afford to even deagle. They might be mentally checked out of the game. I don't know if that's true, but if they're going to put together one more real buy, they need all the money they can get for it. Or they could just straight up win here on a full eco.
Yeah, well, starting off well at least. Dominic trying to recover it, but not looking all right so far. They've been able to re-equalize it down to a 2v2, and oh, it almost gets bad there with Seb dropping down into the ladder room. But Devo will hold his own ground from inside of ladder, knocks him out, and leaves only Rix alive in this 1v2 situation. He's going to have to try and find a way to sneak out here, line up some headshots, and well, he does actually tag Sean a little bit. Nowhere near enough damage to complete a full kill. Misfits will still secure it, and while it's messy, they get through these anti-ecos here, get to the first gun round, and as I was saying before we started this half, with just 1 or 2 more gun rounds going their way, they will have control over the second map.
Yeah, and again, buying down to 0. They've got nade sets to work with. In this situation, you would try to prioritize smokes, Molotovs, and flashes over heat grenades, and kind of in that order as well. Smokes being the most important, and they've actually got this interesting smoke that lands in the middle of Z that they can use for both inner hits or just making it seem like they have gotten a position to take inner. They separated the CTs now. Oh, and from a pretty good lurk position. Sick doesn't get the... Oh, wow.
Wow. They're just being denied everywhere right now. Connor, with that kill into Sean, leaves the numbers for Misfits dwindling here. Even the kill from Devo doesn't mean much. As you can see, they had a crossfire setup. So Rix immediately trades it. These last 2 have halted their movement here. Omnic actually ends up in a pretty okay position. He's going to wait this out just in case anyone else pushed up the old bomb tunnel here, but won't see anyone. So let's see.
Oh,
this is a risky knife, but thankfully it works out okay for him for right now.
He saw him.
He's going to check the other tunnel, though. He'll leave that to Shazam to figure this out. And the problem for Omnic, though, is that he hasn't checked the other side of this train. So if he takes contest at Z, Rix is going to immediately swing around him. Won't even need that, though, as Wardell gets the kill inside Z anyway, and that'll leave Shazam alone here.
Pretty good cleanup overall. Misfits seem to have some pretty good spots, though. I think there's an opportunity on almost each of those kills to be able to win. And this $1,500 matters for Misfits' economy. I don't know if they're going to buy. It looks like Omnic's going to take his winnings and cash in early. I don't maybe before his team has decided what they're about to do. But yeah, really tasting victory at the moment. There's not a lot of incentive to buy. They could have just saved 1 round, but maybe Omnic just fat-fingered it. I'm not sure.
And along with the rest of Misfits here, Almanac is going to continue to push forward, getting quick box halls control, looking for their right to execute out onto the B site. Now, there hasn't been a whole lot of B site presence established up to this point by the CTs. That's changing here now. Not only do we have Wardell rotated in towards the edge of Z, but you've got the close-up position being played by Seb. They have not used this just yet. We haven't seen a whole lot of it. Regardless, we haven't really seen a whole lot of B executes to begin with, but Seb is going to hear all these players pushing through the sidewalk, and we'll have now a great position to punish them. Wardell, though, through the smoke, strikes first. Sean will actually find Seb, and it's just Wardell sitting back here, knocking these guys out one by one. He's already picked up 2 kills. In a moment, he could potentially have a 3rd one, but Rix will clean things up there, leaving only Devo Duvek alive. Devo, though, keeps hitting kills himself, picks up 2. The problem is he's now gone to upper, and he does not have an additional molly to throw back onto the bomb, and it is not planted a good spot for him. He'll basically have to rush it immediately, and I think he's actually seen this player, but doesn't realize it's being diffused, so loses the chance entirely. While he will get the kill on B, Wardell takes him down afterwards, and Ghost will win the round.
Those kills actually take a toll because we've got gonna have a whole set of rebuys. Wardell can drop a gun to Seb. Everybody else can buy up. They're somewhat low in needs, and they're down to 0. So those kills actually mattered quite a bit. It was a 1v5 situation. Almanac got 4 kills. Now Misfits have to keep that up for 1 more round, and Ghost are obviously working on bringing this back. But I think it's more important to, or more pertinent to focus on Misfits, who are much closer to victory and are just trying to make sure that their grip stays tight, because so far they've had a bunch of successful rounds in a row.
Almanac finds a way to initiate here at the ramp. Will not be able to pick up an early kill. And Devo, in the meantime, ends up getting wrecked on his HP. Sean, a bit of a slow reaction there as he waltzes in. But both Sick and Sean will fall. Moments later here, we're going to see additional kills rolling out from Ghost as Misfits, unfortunately, trying to force their hand on the execute into this round, and it does not pan out at all. Ghost secure another round, and they're up to 7. Halfway to the tie, but still a very, very long way to go here. And at any point, Misfits could win out these last 2 rounds and end the game.
Yeah. It's always kind of hanging over their heads, match point. And Misfits, or excuse me, Ghost, put together a pretty solid anti-eco. No guns lost, so a whole round of rebuys, which is a great sign for them. And here's where we might see, with a more drawn-out round, an off battle come out. Though Wardell taking a very aggressive position, and this is what you have to do. It's
So they're going to have to be careful about this. Almanac finds his kill. Seb will trade. But now Almanac can, for the most part, delay here. I don't think he heard him go onto the bomb. He's trying to spam into it, but Seb, is he going to completely ninja this? Almanac's not even hitting it anymore, and there you go. It's another sneak defuse from Ghost, as they're going to be able to pick up their 8th round.
How did he let that one go? There was the blood came out. He heard, I think, that he hit him. Maybe he just assumed that once he did get hit, there was no way that he was going to still be on it. But I think from Ghost's perspective, there was no reason not to try to stick that. And oh wow, Breeze is having B, excuse me, is having a very tough game. 4-20 so far.
But with the heroics of Wardell there, along with us sneaking off that defuse in the last round, along with Rix too here, just getting fed kills. Almost goes out to get a 3rd one too. You notice he dinked Shazam, and now Shazam will end up burning out after he got the trade onto Rix. This round's pretty much already over here. Last 2, they got E-Box control, but Wardell knows exactly where this person's playing from. Oh, Sean, however, catches Connor sneaking up, but there's the trade from B. Almanac keeps it alive. He's got it down to a 1v2 now. I won't call it done just yet, as he also seems to have a pretty good idea that Seb has flanked him over here at ladder room. He's also got all the time in the world to wait. Still over a minute remaining in the round. So it's all about how he plays this and how smartly he's able to line this up. He'll walk right in, and Wardell's not even checking that position.
Ooh,
and now, yeah, he knows Seb is coming from ladder room for certain. But he will still have to find time to plant this bomb. Don't think Seb can hear the plant from that far away. So Almanac will be able to get that off for free. And he has started to think that maybe Seb went to another part of the map. Finds him now, and in the final 1v1, it's going to be Almanac that comes out on top. And that'll push Misfits up to map point.
Yikes, that came down to the wire, and Seb almost won that 1v1. Damage traded for 2.5 seconds. That's a tough one. And that was, I mean, that would have been 9 rounds for Ghost Gaming, another save for Misfits, and after that clutch in the previous round that did come close as well, Ghost just don't have the money to stave off what will basically be a series point. Misfits in a great position to close this out now.
Oh, even worse, too. He's going to be caught in a bad spot here, too. Hiding behind the server. He does trade a little bit of the damage back out, but it's still Devo's first kill, basically working out for free. Almanac finding a second one, and with Ghost on this type of a bye, it's not looking like they're going to be able to sustain and prolong this match to try and run now what would have to be 7 rounds straight. Wardell picks up at least 1 kill here. Now will fall, Sean taking him out. Rix as well goes 1 for 1, and this is not how we need them to close out on these matches here. Or close out on these duels, rather. Seb now left alone in the 1v3, and Shazam will finish him off, securing it for the Misfits as they take control of map number 2, and that means they claim a clean 2-0 for the evening and a total of 6 points on the rankings, which will help them to shoot forward and try to remain in the top 6 as we get closer to the end of the season here, progressing further into the week.
Solid performance, more of what we expected from Misfits overall. Didn't really see too many holes in their game, whereas on Nuke, where they were trading back and forth in the first half, it seemed like there was a case for Ghost playing actually well on a map that they shouldn't have done so well on versus Misfits. And here, yeah, I think Misfits are looking a little bit more warmed up.
Yeah. And so, with that said, we are going to take it over to our analysts to break things down for map number 2. Take it away, Stunna.
Break things down, we will. And ultimately, unless I've been lied to, unless someone has really just drugged me through the mud, and by that I mean one of my analysts. I'm not going to name which one, but as you can see, there aren't many. We're going to have to hold a moment of silence for Ghost Gaming and their hopes. So let's just go ahead and do that now.
All right.
All right, we're here.
All right,
We're back, guys.
We're back.
Mentally.
And what actually happened is because they did not secure any points tonight, they seemingly eliminated themselves from Pro League.
Yeah.
When one team like Misfits wins, it helps them in their playoffs. They get happy.
So
And then Ghost Gaming, they get knocked out.
So what you're
They're
saying
sad.
is, Eric, what you're saying is because somebody is happy, somebody else is unhappy.
That's true. It's a balance of life, Trace. The yin and the yang.
An outstanding matchup. Either way, what was really close on the map prior, obviously going into Train, was not the same storyline. What do we see, guys?
It seemed like Ghost Gaming had an idea of what to do, it's just that they didn't do it consistently enough. It's like when something works, maybe do the same thing but with a little bit of a different change. Because I liked their approaches on a few of the rounds. They had like a nice outside split late. They had a nice inner execute. They showed a good pistol round. It's just that they weren't able to string enough rounds together on their T side to give them a chance on CT side. Because Misfits' pistol round was too good. They won that second half pistol, and then the match was just too far gone at that point.
Too far gone. Let's go ahead and kick this bad boy off by looking at round number 7, our first replay of the evening, which shall be coming in shortly, I believe. And if it doesn't, that's still okay. Oh, here it is.
Okay, so this round, you can just see that Ghost Gaming is going to do that outside split I was talking about. Common 2-1-2, 2 ladder, get that ladder controlled. Nice little drop in with the nade. I forget who did that drop in first, but it's pretty effective because both people can shoot at the same time, and it creates 2 targets for the CT. Coupled with that HE nade, you know, obviously you're going to get that trade kill unless something really weird happens. And then Seb has the presence of mind to look behind him for this inner flank by Almanac, right? So this inner flank right here is kind of like symbolic of how Misfits are able to win this map. It's because Ghost Gaming were playing kind of a textbook style, and they didn't throw enough variation in to catch those flanks by Almanac right there often enough. They found it this round, and it transpired in a round win for them, right? Because what that allows is Seb to come to inner. He's going to fake inner right here just by throwing 3 nades, right? Like smoke down lower, flash, nade through the skylight, and he's going to fall back to Pop Dog, and they're going to take the bomb outside. So here's another flank coming in right here. Basically, Misfits are just playing this like scrimmy style where they're pushing everything at, you know, seemingly logical, opportune times, but Ghost Gaming catches them off this round. I would have liked to see this round play out a few more times.
In a nutshell, they effectively created chaos.
Yeah.
Which then, in turn, led the comms to be like, oh, well, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. Before you know it, they're down to 3 players, 2 players, and it's just simply not enough.
Yeah, so it seemed like Ghost knew what to do that round. I just wish they did it more often.
Well, we're going to take a look at the second pistol round now. That's round number 16, and it's going to be a smoke inner take by Misfits.
So I like this in particular because at first it looks like a normal smoke inside take and push, but what I love about what Misfits does on this that's so well, they all kind of sneak up and wait behind the smoke, as you see right here. The whole team's kind of in this area, and they wait until the smoke's about to kind of vanish, and then they all peak and push at the same time. I think it kind of catches Ghost Gaming off just a little bit. As you see right here, they just get run right through. I thought it was just very good teamwork and timing by Misfits, and you know, it's just a little variation of the inside take. You know, you have people, some fall back, maybe one guy gets a little crazy and push, but they held their patience, they sit down, and then they pushed all together at the same time, and I like that. I like that teamwork.
I think that inner sidewalk area and like pushing Z is kind of like, there's so many metas around how to do it that it's so hard to play inside if a T side does it all as a unit, right? So that if they push sidewalk on you, or if they don't, if they molly the Z hump and they keep mauling it, like there's just so many things you can do to disrupt the CT rotate there that, you know, as a CT side, you have to think and plan ahead. Like, what if they are doing these things to lock down that rotate through Z? We need a plan, and that's why a lot of teams have been taking ladder control on CT side, is so they can rotate not through Z, right? Because rotating through CT spawn, the doorways are so small, they can just stare at you from the train yard.
Now, I'm going to paint a picture here for you, the viewer at home, and also for you guys here to think about. If I didn't know what on earth it was you were talking about, which there's a chance I don't, but we'll get into that another time. If I didn't know what you're talking about and I wanted to catch up on that, seemingly see what it is you're talking about, have that visual aid there, where would you go for something like that?
YouTube.com
I think that's
/ ESLCS.
I think you're right on that one.
And he is indeed. Head over to youtube.com/ESLCS where you can load up that VOD from that those two matches there in Misfits and Ghost, or I guess technically you can watch any of them from the entirety of the season. Either way, that does it, you know, between Misfits and Ghost. Obviously, this puts Ghost into a weird situation when it comes to remaining in the Pro League, and then for Misfits, this is a step in the right direction.
Well, for Ghost, hopefully they can bounce back from this, because, you know, usually when you get relegated or, you know, demoted from a league, kind of disrupts the team a little bit. I think for Ghost Gaming, you know, you have the skill, maybe work on timing a little bit and on your strats. I see a lot of times, you know, they are going for that pick strat, but their other team's not in position to exchange kills. So if they tighten that up, I think they'll probably do a little better.
Yeah, they need to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Sometimes slow is smooth and smooth is fast, and we're going to slowly but surely segue into our next matchup right now. We're going to have Luminosity and the Renegades squaring off on 2 maps. Teams both also having something to fight for, and ultimately both trying to find that solidity or solidification of like being in the playoff race.
Yeah, I think Luminosity has a little bit of an easier road, you know, given they get past Renegades. Or Renegades is a pretty tough opponent here, but Luminosity is in the number 7 spot, I think, right now.
They're teetering around.
I think NRG's 6, Luminosity's 7, but the fact that they find themselves here right now, given all of the upheaval in Brazilian roster swaps, is pretty impressive to me. I actually think that they have like a pretty good game style to go against Renegades, but then again, they're gonna have to deal with the likes of NAF and Nifty, you know, have been firing on all cylinders and, you know, beating the likes of Virtus Pro on LAN, so they have their work cut out for them.
Could be a doozy, but only time will tell. We're going to be going to a quick commercial break before we jump into this Renegades and Luminosity matchup, so make sure you don't go anywhere, and if you do, you better come back, or we're going to stick to bears on you. We'll be right back.